Sheldon Primus.
Welcome to the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus, where we blend safety smarts with business brilliance and a pinch of Sheldon's signature wit. Whether you're a safety pro, a fresh-faced consultant, or just safety curious, get ready for a show that'll educate, entertain, and elevate your safety game. Let's dive into the art of consulting with your safety Sherpa himself, Sheldon Primus.
This episode is powered by Safety FM.
Well, welcome. I am glad you guys are here. I'm glad that you're listening to the Safety Consultant Show with me. Guess who? Sheldon Primus. It's been a little bit. Took a break for the Thanksgiving holidays, U.S. And then afterwards, I actually had a family emergency, so just had to take care of that, which makes me so grateful that I'm a consultant. And life, when things kind of like throw a little curveball, you could go ahead and work things out that would not otherwise be easier if you're working for someone else. So that's me being grateful. So there you go. Held over Thanksgiving. Got to be grateful, right, my friends? So thank everybody for hanging out with me. And you guys really rock. I like you guys. That's for you. Hanging in there with me. You rock. All right. Well, I'm coming from you from the Airbnb. I'm in Mexico. San Cristobal de las Casas, Mexico. Been here for about over a month now. In Mexico for about 4 months. Loving it. Viva la Mexico. I'm learning Spanish and everything. Okay. Welcome everybody to the show. Thank you so much for just being part of the show. Just want to give you that appreciation. I got a show for you today, and this one is actually me trying to help you out with thinking about next year. You know, next year is coming up, and I'm one of these guys that tries to get my calendar set up the year in advance, and I'm just very grateful that I have that ability to do that. So I know pretty much where I'm going to be in 2025. And for the most part, I've got some gaps I'm going to fill here and there, but yeah, I'm grateful for that. But there's some things that I really have that I want to get accomplished. And I am a goal setter. And I'm going to teach you guys how you could go ahead and set some goals using the SMART goal acronym. So you guys are going to be doing some SMART goals. I mean, you guys know what is SMART, all right? We got all kinds of acronyms, right? So let's see. Who knows? What is SMART? All right. Your SMART is your goal setting. You got to be specific, measurable, attainable goals, realistic, and sometimes you will hear realistic as being relevant. Then the T is for time-bound or timely. So if you make your goals with a SMART acronym in the background, it's going to help you with a lot of things. Let you know your budget, let you know what kind of activity you're doing in which month, so you know how to schedule that month, especially when you need to work around family events and everything like that. You'll know when you set a goal using the SMART acronym, you're thinking about everything out, and it's not just a goal or a wish. It's an actual goal, and it's something you can see it through. When you see it through, you'll feel better about yourself. You know you're making progress in your business. So I'm going to show you about that and getting you guys ready for the new year. I like to split it up into quarters. So think about, what you want to do each quarter. That's one of the things I've been doing, trying to, for me, the goal setting part, especially for what's coming up in 2025. We got a big thing coming. Been working on this secret project for a while. It's been working on that. I really want to launch this thing and get it going. And I just been focusing on it, So figured, let me go ahead and just give you how I approach specific, measurable, achievable, relevant or realistic, and time bound. So now, when you're doing your goals, you want to have the S as the specific part, and you want to make sure that you're going to really get goals that will work well. When I first got started, I used to think of what is my biggest moneymaker that I do in a year. And for the most part, I was doing my own classes. So I would host events. I would do them in local community centers, civic centers, and stuff like that. And I would open it up to the public. I was doing wastewater classes. It was industrial pretreatment. Look that one up, gang. I used to teach that one. And then the other one is basically it was an introduction to industrial pretreatment, and then the other one was about permits. So environmental. That was me, my environmental hat. So I would offer continuing education units for the operators that took this. How did I know operators needed this? I'm an operator, and I needed these. So that's what I did. Ooh, little disclaimer. There's fireworks in this area and has been for a while. It's usually followed by church bells. So if you hear like really loud booms and everything, that is the fireworks in the background. It's right around Christmas time right now that I'm celebrating here in Mexico. And there is some serious Mexican celebrations going on all the time. So that's what you got going on right there if you hear it. I'll do my best to edit it out, but oh well. There you go. So first quarter, let's say you have this goal and you've been doing teaching classes and you've been doing your classes once a quarter. That means once a year you're arranging and you're promoting and you're getting the hotel set up, and then you're going to have the event, and you're hoping that you did your numbers, and with your fee, with the cost for everything to set up, all the food and everything else, that you're going to make a healthy profit. So you have maybe a per person profit of maybe $50 per person, right? So every two people is 100. So at this point, if you say I want 10 people to come into my next event, then you're going to set yourself up. If you're literally going to do the math, you got a pretty good profit going there, right? So in that case, you're now going to be specific. It's measurable, because now you want to increase by 10 or get 10 people to be realistic with your numbers. If you've done past events, get an average of what your past events are. If you are just starting, then 10's a nice round number. That just means that you're going to have to hustle and sell it. So you'll have to do all the things you can do. Let's do your Facebook ads and everything else to promote the business, promote your event. So that's your target now. So now you're saying how much money that I spend in marketing divided by 10 is your marketing budget. So that's generally how this is going to work. All right. So that's a specific goal. It's measurable, so I added two things in there, because now 10, how much that's going to generate in your revenue. Or whatever the difference is between your cost for putting on the event and the overhead and all that. And that's what's left over. That's your profit. So that's what you're looking for per person. So that's going to help you out. So now you also know how much money you could spend toward your budget too. So that's one of the reasons for doing this. So achievable, that's where you got to be honest with yourself. So if you say, I've only had 5 people in my classes in the last 6 or 7 events, and you set your goal as 10, how is that going to be achievable? Is it possible to be achievable? The how is going to be marketing. How are you going to market it? How are you going to get those 5 extra more people? So if you're going to get 5, the rule of thumb is you're probably going to have to reach out to 500. So how are you going to reach out to 500 people in order for you to get 5 that is going to take your class? So that's you doing your marketing. Who is the target market for your people? That's how you make this goal achievable. If you don't know the math behind getting a new client and getting some customers, then you're probably going to have to lower that mark to the average of what you have been getting for the last few classes. So if it's been 4, then say, all right, for every quarter, I'm going to get 4 people. And, it might be a chance for you to fool around with the price point, see if it's a price point difference. I'll give you guys an example with the price point thing. When I first did my OSHA 10-hour classes, I started my 10-hour classes, and I priced it right around the $225 mark. And I got some people in that class. It wasn't too bad. And I was like, all right, let's play around with this one a little. And so I did it again, and this time I upped the price to $425 per person. And the class didn't make, but I did get a few. And so I said, all right, let's adjust this. So I went down to $375. And I've got more people at the $375 price point than I did at the $225 price point. And it was definitely more than the $425 price point. So this might, let's say, for Achievable in the A in our SMART acronym. So let's say that you're going to look for a certain profit dollar figure. You might be able to say you could get less people, but let's raise the price up at a certain percentage and play around with the price. That might be another way for you to achieve your goal for that quarter. So, not bad. Next is your R in this SMART acronym. So, you want to make sure that it's relevant to the long-term success of your business. Realistic is another way you could say your R's, but for in this case, you want your activity to lead to getting a repeat customer, and hopefully by offering more classes or offering, for everyone that comes to your session, they're going to get a free evaluation of the written program that they're there to learn about. If you do a permit required confined space entry class, for everybody that comes to attendance, they're going to get some sort of ticket, and that ticket's going to be something they could follow up and go ahead and take action. That's a call to action. They'll make an appointment with you to go ahead and review their confined space entry permit. So there you go. That's relevant. So you're doing an action. You want that action to go towards the long-term success of your business. T, so this is going to be the time-bound thing. So for every milestone, you're going to really need to set some time for yourself. It can't be indefinite. So the T is going to be where you're going to get your calendar out. You're going to take a good look, and you say, first quarter, I want to get here, but here are the mini steps that it's going to take me to get to this end point in the end of the quarter. So let's say you want to get 10 people to take your event, then you're probably going to make up some mini steps along the way as saying you're going to create your social media ad 12 weeks before the event. And you're going to, get your budget for your running your social media ad right around that part. And then also you may say, I'm going to have my own webinars that I'm going to do a free mini kind of one part of the topic that you're going to do. Just do like a chapter or a section of it in a webinar format, and then have people sign up at the end of the webinar for the full event. So something like that. You got to put those things on the calendar so that you will definitely have some legs that goes into your SMART acronym. So you don't want everything to be like a wish, if you would. You are going to try to take strategic action. So that means the goals that you set, you want to at least vet these things out to the degree that you're taking a logical step forward, and you're not going to try to get an advanced step going without doing an elementary basic step ahead of time. So strategic. Gotta get yourself ready. There's some tools for some of this stuff. You could use I've been using OneNote for a very long time, so it helps me set up a lot of different notebooks for events and things like that, and different classes even. And then I could put in some real good detail as to what do I want to do for this actual event. Put it in quarters, put it in weeks, and you keep referring back to that, and have yourself alerts that show up, notifications on your phone. It tells you, all right, take action time. And so those are the things that you're going to try to do. And then get that SMART goal out there. Evaluate your goal. Evaluate, did you hit that bullseye that you set out to be and set out to do? And if you did, then at this point, that means that you're going to be set up really good for the next coming, in this case, we're doing it for 2025. So let's go ahead and hit our bullseyes for that, all right? So SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, real, realistic or relevant, timely or time-bound. So go ahead and get your SMART goals out there. You got them. Go get them.
That's a wrap for today's safety show. Remember, safety isn't just about hard hats and caution signs. It's about business smarts too. Thanks for joining us on the Safety Consultant Show with Sheldon Primus. Until next time, stay safe, stay savvy, and keep consulting like a boss. Go get 'em. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast or broadcast are those of the host and its guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within the past hour, only examples. It should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the positions of the company. No part of this podcast or broadcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast or broadcast, Sheldon Primus.
This episode has been powered by Safety FM.
Are you ready to make a difference? Introducing the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. Unlock your potential as a safety consultant. Learn the skills, strategies, and ethics to create safer workplaces for your very own client. From risk assessment to client acquisition, we've got you covered. Become a safety consultant and open doors to being your own boss. Join us and be the hero of workplace safety. Enroll today. Safety starts with you. Take the first step now. Visit our website and enroll in the Safety Consultant Blueprint course. Empower businesses. Protect lives. SafetyConsultantBlueprint.com.